Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bahrain. Welcome to SAFRL, Season 5, Round 1. We are at the start of a new season, championship numbers being wiped clean, everybody getting an equal opportunity from the start. We're looking at the pit garage because there's no action on track as of yet. If you're wondering about the voice, my name is not Fernando, and I will be guiding you through Season 5 on Monday nights here in Tier 1. Already some drivers out on track. We have three cars now out on track. Buffelsfontein, Shane and Thiago. I think it's pronounced that way. Cheddar Shake's also getting out on track now. Track beginning to fill up. Let's get some telemetry on screen so we can have a better idea of what's going on. As far as the tyres go, no surprises there. Everybody on a set of softs. Pretty even balance of cars that remain in the pits and the cars that went out. Welcome to everybody who is watching. See, we already have some viewers early on in qualifying. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to leave us a pole position prediction. I see we already have two, and both of them very close. Actually three, all of them very close, within a tenth of a second. People predicting very low 28s. So we'll see about that. As you can see, we are not running the usual teams you would expect. A few issues earlier on last week with the balanced cars, so we are running the multiplayer car for the time being. And when that issue is resolved, we will resume normal cars as far as I know. Going to start getting our first lap time shortly. Our first bankers. Obviously very important now to these next couple of laps that you're going to put down. Just the one quali session. This is not a full qualifying session, so just the Q1. 18 minutes. 18 drivers out on track. Leave it too late, you might find yourself on a busier circuit than you would like. Thiago now over the line first. He sets a 1:30.2. Let's have a look who's coming over the line next. It's Buffelsfontein with very close lap time, also 1:30.2. Nothing in it. 300ths of a second, cover the top two. Now Shane goes fastest and lays down the gauntlet. Fastest lap of the night so far, 1:29.6. Shakes now goes even faster. Lap times falling all over the place. Shakes goes faster. He's already been demoted to P2. That was a 1:29.1. But Cheddar has eclipsed them all. First man into the 1:28s for the night, 1:28.9. So far your top three are Cheddar, Shakes and It's Midas. Here we have another potentially quick driver for Season 5. That's not Shumi. Goes around the final corner now to set his first lap time of the night. It's good enough for third place, a 129.3. Not quite the 28s. Just the one man has been able to crack the 128s tonight so far, and that is Cheddar. As I say that, we're running now with Mango. Let's get some onboard footage. It's going to go over the line, and judging by his battery, this will be his first time lap of the night, and it's the fastest lap of the night. There we go, we're into pole prediction times, and we're only halfway through quali. It's the 28.1. And if you thought your lap time was pretty good, it's time to go back to the garage and reevaluate things. A 128.1. And that's on his first run. Now we ride with Logic. Also now setting his first timed lap time. Goes over the line, and look at that, good enough for second, a 128.8. Still a large margin between the top two there, 0.6 of a second. When I did get the first pole position predictions there in the comment section, I thought they were a little bit exaggerated, but 2 out of the 3 here were or 1 out of the 3 were 28.1s, and that's the lap time at 28.1. So let's see if anybody else has got something extra, and I think that's the wrong term. It can't be something extra, it's got to be a lot extra. We ride with Grimjaw in what appears to be an Aston Martin. So the Bahrain circuit, 7 layouts, 4 of which are FIA Grade 1 status layouts, which means they can host F1. Grimjaw currently 10th, 129.6. Logic's on an in-lap. Wizards has gone over the line, and that's a 128.8. So we have 4 drivers in the 128s. Just the man in pole, he's on the other side all by himself of those 128s. He's in the low 128s. 4 drivers yet to set lap times. Those are Simps, Django, and Gotzi. I'm gonna have a problem with that name in 16th. How do I pronounce that? Willis. We'll go with Willis. If anyone can correct me, feel free. If you're watching. Man at the front remains in the pits, 128.1. He's surely going to have another run before the end of this, but how much can he improve? As far as the original or real F1 calendar goes, the last pole position lap time here was by Max Verstappen. That was a 29.7. Your top 3, Mango, Logic, Wizards. Cheddar not far behind. Still waiting for that first lap time from Simps. We're right on board with him now in the orange papaya. It can only be one car, that has to be the McLaren. Really nicely done by all the drivers to try and match up their liveries to the original cars. Simps now well into sector 3. He's going to go around the final corner to set his first lap for the night. What's it going to be? He's going to want to put himself up the order into the top 5 at least. One of the faster drivers on the grid. That's a 29.5. Wonder if he made a mistake. Guess we can say those are your first runs complete. Now the drivers you see on circuit, these are their second runs. Everyone in the 18 driver field has set a lap time. Remember, just 6.5 minutes remain of qualifying, and there is no more qualifying sessions. This is it, just a short quali. So what you do in this session is where you're going to start in the race. Cheddar goes over the line and he closes that gap. He goes into P2. It's a 128.4, but not quite enough to catch the provisional pole sitter. Logic is starting his second lap of the night. Currently a 128.8, that is his best time. Good enough for third place. He'll be looking to improve, get himself back onto the front row, possibly take pole position away. But if that is the case, he's got a lot of time to find. This is Mango, and I thought he was going to go over the line, but he's pulled out of that lap. Returned to the pits. Maybe made a mistake. Still enough time to get back out there, have another run. This is Cheddar on an in lap. This is Logic on a fast lap. Stay on board with him as he goes down the back straight into the final corner. Activates the DRS and goes over the line. What is that lap time? It is better. He does improve, but it's not enough to prove the position. He remains in third place, but goes up to a 28.7. Currently a lot of cars in the pits, just a few cars on out laps, few cars on in laps, no real action out on track, but that's going to change in a minute or so. Just 4 minutes remaining on the clock. I'm sure a lot of guys sitting in the pits doing their final preparations for that final run. Could potentially have a very busy racetrack if that is the case. It's Long Nai just coming into the pits. This is Biffles Fontaine now on the start of a fast lap. Currently P15, looking to get himself higher up the field. Just 3 minutes remaining on the clock. It's pretty safe to say that everyone out on track right now, this will be their final run. It's not going to be enough time to come in and do it all again. Shakes has retired from the session in P5, so he's not going to be able to improve. Try keep an eye on the drivers, all on outlaps. I think Buffelsfontein is going to be one of the first men over the line for that final timed lap. Goes around the final corner, activates DRS, goes over the line, and that is an improvement. It's 29.3. It's good enough to put him up into P6 and almost dislodging Shakes there from the top 5. Not Shumi, just winding up for his final lap there. You can see him just going slowly, winding it up, making sure the battery's fully charged so he can give it everything he's got. Midas doing the same thing, going around pretty slowly, side to side, warming up those tyres, getting every advantage you can. Simps using all of the racetrack right to the outside there. Good use of the curbs through the S's. There's a few curbs here in Bahrain that were simply untouchable. One in particular, that on this game, you can go over them quite easily. Ride with Simps. In the middle of Sector 2 now. He's looking to improve on 10th place. Windsor's now also retiring from 4th place, so that will be the highest possible starting position for him. Cheddar going over the line. He is going to start a final run. Not happy with 2nd place. Wants to find another 3/10. Is he going to be able to find another 3/10? Windsor has left the session. That's unfortunate. Hopefully we'll see him back. Here is the man on provisional pole position. He's in the middle of Sector 2. Simply amazing lap time to set down as a benchmark on the first run, a 1:28.1. No time for sandbagging. Showing all his cards. Or has he shown all his cards? Will we still see a 1:27 on the night? He wouldn't have to improve by much. He's up in Sector 2. He's up on his own time in Sector 2. And we could very well see time dipping into the 1:27s. Let's have a look what he can do as he activates DRS, goes over the line. And although he was up in Sector 2, it's not enough to improve. That lap time remains the best lap time of the night at 1:28.186. Who's got it in them? Will it be the McLaren of Simps, currently in P3, 1:28.4. Some really close lap times. Oh, we've missed that. Logic went over the line, and did he get close? Look at that. Close stuff at the front, just misses out, 28.2. And now Simps goes over the line. And that's that for him as well. Further back, I was going to say Shane in P5, but he seems to have backed out of that lap completely. Grimjaw returning to the pits. I think everybody's pretty much done. Whereas Bosveld, he is doing the same thing. He's also going into the pits. I think that is going to be your order. again to everyone watching, to everyone in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed the race. We're going to be underway shortly. Obviously just the short qualifying session. And that was quite the quali session. When I saw the pole time predictions, I said, nah, but they were pretty spot on. Well done. So that is your qualifying results. Mango taking pole position with that 128.1. Then we had Logic second place, Cheddar third. Then we have Simpson fourth place, Shane fifth, Wizards sixth, Grimjaw seventh, Chango in eighth, Shakes ninth, and Brands making up your top 10. Outside the top 10, P11, Buffelsfontein, P12, Notsumi, 13, it's Midas, 14, Langnau, 15, Bosveld, P16, Tiago, P17, I'm going to battle with that name all night, let's just say Wellis, and then making up the field, Gotzi. And welcome back after the short break. Now it's time for the real thing. You have qualifying. Most of it is out on the track by yourself, setting the fastest lap time you can. The race is something very, very different. Yes, it's about fast lap times, but it's about consistency and it's about surviving those first few laps. We are in Bahrain, so lots of tarmac runoff area. So hopefully no action into turn 1 tonight. There we go, no formation lap, and we will be underway any second. There we go, we're underway. Mango leads the way from Logic. No change at the front there. Nice start. Actually, Cheddar and Logic fighting for position, fighting for second place. Very nicely done, everybody through turn 1. Let's hope to see that continue over the next few corners. Logic still P3 as he goes up into P2. Now side by side. And there we go, nicely done by the Mercedes driver up into P2. But look at Mango, he's already 1.2 seconds up the road. It's lap 1 and he's broken DRS. 1.4 seconds. Goodness me. Lap 1 of 29. Pretty long race. Does anybody have predictions on predictions for me on strategies? Presuming this is a one-stop. Let's just bring up your tire information. There we go, mostly mediums, and then a few drivers starting on the hard. No sign of the soft compound. So obviously doesn't last very long around here. Nobody too keen on giving it a go. Fastest lap of the race for Mango as we start lap 2 of 29. He leads by 1.4 seconds. Gap was going absolutely insane in the opening few corners, but it seems to have stabilized at 1.4, 1.5. So Logic just keeping him in tow. But behind Logic, this field really hasn't separated. A long queue now forming behind the driver in third place. Top three remain the same: Mango, Logic, Cheddar. As far as your positions, top five remain exactly where they started. Same order. Grimjaw's made up a position, not Shumi's made up 4 positions. Nicely done. Then Shake's position. Longnai 3 positions. Diago 1 position. Biggest loser of positions on those opening few laps, that has to be Wizards. He's lost 12 places, down in 18th. I believe we were supposed to be 19 drivers on the night. Unfortunately, Bumpun not able to make it. Just the 18 drivers at the race start. And Mango again with another fastest lap. That gap now has definitely stabilized, 1.6 seconds. But the next thing Logic needs to do, the first thing he needed to do was stabilize the gap, and that he's done. The next thing he needs to do is get within DRS. Behind him within DRS is Cheddar. And what a DRS train we have here. Cheddar, Simps, Shane, Grimjaw, all in the same DRS train. Saw a race like this recently where 5 or 6 cars were in a DRS train for almost 12 laps. And then one of the cars, I think it was the car second in the queue, lost it, and that was the end of, well, pretty much everyone in the queue. Really difficult to drive in one of these DRS trains. Got to watch your mirrors. Got to watch the guy in front of you. And still got to make the occasional overtake. Like I said, top 5 still remain the same. Not Shumi up into 7th. He's made up 4 places, but now he's got a bit of free air in front of him. He's going to have to catch up to that queue, and when he does, it's not going to be easy. There we go. We have a McLaren. Having enough of that. Having enough of the DRS queue. It's time to get out and chase the top 3. Simps up into the top 3. Not sure if that is true, but getting some comments here in the comment section saying that Mango announced that he was going to humiliate the rest of the field tonight. So far so good. Gap has stabilized though. In the beginning it was looking quite scary. Mango leads from Logic, Simp still in 3rd. He is closing that gap up to the top 2. Cheddar hasn't let him get away though. Shane still follows in 5th, Grimjaw 6th. Not Shumi in P7. He's 2 seconds adrift from that DRS train. Further down the field, we have Shakes. He's made up a position since the race start. He's up into 8th place. Biffle's in 9th. They've each made a position. And then we have Django in 10th, who's lost 2 positions. So I'm assuming he lost out to those 2 cars. Another car to make up multiple positions from the race start is Tiago. He's made up 5 positions. Not really sure what happened to this driver over here. He's in P18, Windsors, qualified pretty well. He's lost 12 positions, finds himself at the back. He'll be hoping for a safety car. Something just to neutralize the race. Shake things up. Mango's still out front. 2.3 seconds is the gap. Just let me know in the comment section if you do still need that invite. For the time being, we saw what he could do on that opening lap. Wonder if Mango holding back a little bit, doing some tyre management so he can take those mediums a little bit. Let me just see, was he on mediums? Yes, he was. He's on mediums. Maybe take those mediums just a few laps further. Means you're going to have all that extra grip towards the end of the race. Fantastic to see the DRS battle has not been broken. It's still there. Simps in 3rd place. He's the leader of that battle. His 3rd place is not safe at all. Just behind him he has Cheddar, Shane, and then Grimjaw. Not Shumi still trying to catch the back of that DRS train. In P5, still where he started. That is Shane. We have a safety car. I mentioned it a lap ago, and now we have a safety car. And immediately, action from all the top drivers. Top 6, top 7, all into the pits. Just get some details here so we can see what is happening. Seems like the popular choice is the hard compound. Okay, I'm going to try and send an invite. Just please bear with me. Okay, hopefully that will work. There we go, we're under safety car. Race has been temporarily neutralized. Natshumi now in the lead of the race. In fact, the top three, Natshumi, Buffelsfontein and Tiago, they have gone with the alternate strategy. They have stayed out on that set of hards, now 7 laps old. Everyone else in the field, with the exception of Gotzi, who has retired, chose to make a pit stop. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, the team's not being able to use the official team, so we are in multiplayer cars. So just to go through the teams while we're under safety car: Mercedes-Benz for Season 5, Mercedes-Benz, it's Midas and F1 Logic. McLaren, we've got Simps and VL Gaming, which I don't see out there on the track. Then at Aston Martin we've got Grimjaw and Tiago. At Haas we've got Wizards and Gotzi. We've already lost Gotzi tonight. At Red Bull we've got Pampun and Natshumi. Alpine we've got Brands and Shakes. Alfa Romeo, Langnai and Shane. Then the last 3 teams: Ferrari, Bosvelt and Buffelsfontein. That's easy to remember. BB, AlphaTauri, we've got Cheddar and Panda, and then Williams. Well, that's going to be even easier to remember: Mango and Django. How's that for a driver lineup? Mango and Django. I think the ultimate driver lineup would be Lance Stroll and Nikita Mazepin. And the team's budget cap would be over in about 4 rounds. Remember, we have had a safety car pretty early on in the race. This does change things. A race that is simply from start to finish is much easier. You can manage your tires, manage your pace, decide when to go, decide when to lift. But when a safety car comes in to play, it can really mess with your previous plans. See, the safety car is pulling away off into the distance, so I believe safety car will be in this lap. That makes Natshumi, on his aging hards, the virtual safety car, technically. It will be his decision and his decision alone when to go, and it seems like he has gone. There we go, accelerates away. No passing until the start-finish line. And there we go, looks like a pretty straightforward restart. With Tiago just dipping to the inside, thinking about it just for a second, thinking better of it. But now he's going to come under pressure, and Mango already up into 3rd place, wasting no time. He's going to have the superior tyre, remember. He's going to have the superior grip. Those tyres on Shumi's car shouldn't be too bad, just the 9 laps. 2 of them were not at racing speed. But if it's not going to come into play now, it may come into play in a few laps' time when those older hards begin to fall off. Cheddar now in P6. He's the only driver in the top 10 to be using a set of medium tyres. So definitely on a different strategy. Guys here in the comments section saying that Cheddar's strategy may have been impeded by the safety car. So obviously a very different strategy. He's on the set of mediums. Got to try something different. Obviously we might see another safety car or a virtual safety car. So still so much can happen. But for the time being, Cheddar is going to be on the softest compound there out of the top 6. And does that mean he's going to be able to pick his way through the smattering of cars? Prediction for the podium. Currently we have P1 going to Mango, P2 going to Logic, and P3 going to Sims. If you don't agree and have a prediction of your own, let me know. Put it in the comment section. At the front, Mango still leads the way. The gap is 1.2 seconds. So he was the first man to pit under safety car, came out in 4th place, and he's been able to clear those 3 cars in front of him, put himself back into the lead, as has Logic and Simps. Not Shumi, who briefly led the race at the safety car restart. He's now down to P6. And those aging tyres obviously not on his side. Mango's fastest lap of the race, 1:31.9, which is probably a lap time I could not even achieve in time trial. That's why I'm in the comms box. Trying to race against these guys is rather depressing. Cheddar now defends. Shane tries to go to the outside. He gets run wide there. Now he's going to have to do all sorts of defending. There we go. I've actually got the cars mixed up. That's due to the multiplayer cars. Shane now up into P4. I think that's the highest position he's been in all race. He's sat a majority of this race in P5. He's finally made his way up into P4. And he'll be looking to get himself on the podium. Obviously we are in the deserts of Bahrain, so no need to worry about weather. That may change later on in the calendar at a few of our European destinations. Hopefully the rain doesn't come at Monaco. I saw that on the calendar. That should be a good one. Top 3 remain Mango, Logic and Simps. Shane's still closing in on the top 3. He is now in DRS. Cheddar, Grimjaw and Notshumi swapping positions. Notshumi continuing to just drop down the order. And I'm sure at this stage he'll be wondering why he did not pit when everybody else did. We have a caution, we're looking at the map, but everybody seems to be on their way again, so no safety car. Whenever I see that screen light up in yellow, even if it's briefly, I do get concerned. "10-second time penalty for Langnai." That is a 10-second penalty for Langnai for what was apparently corner cutting. So I can only imagine he skipped an entire section of the track. It couldn't have been running over a curb. Seems quite extreme, but a 10-second penalty to Langnai. The only other man on track with penalties, that goes to Notshumi, currently P7. He has a 3-second penalty next to his name. And now Langnai picks up a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. So not quite sure what's happening there. He's running at the back of the field. He's about 41 seconds adrift from the next car and seems to be picking up penalties left, right and centre. Wizards has entered the pits. And he has changed from a relatively fresh set of softs onto a set of mediums. Wonder if he had damage. Tyres didn't seem to be that old, just 6 laps old. Let me know in the comment section if 6 laps on a set of softs around here is old. That seemed to be pretty early on. Cheddar has made his way past Shane. And Shane down into 5th. Thought I saw a car ghosting for a second there, but everybody seems to be fine. And Langnai at the back of the field was definitely not having a fantastic race. He is now retired from the race. And we have now 2 DNFs. Started with 18. We're down to 16 at just over half race distance. Cheddar. Nicely done. He's fighting for that 3rd place, doing everything he can, going to the inside, looking to the outside. He wants to get through. He's got these extremely fast drivers just behind him. So he's trying not to make a mistake. He's going to lose a position if he does. So needs to get it right when he does go for that move. Has to make sure he doesn't run wide, doesn't miss a braking point, because there's drivers behind him that are waiting to pounce. I think anyone here really in your top 6 is in podium contention, and even contention, I want to say, for the win, but something tells me Mango has this all under control. He's able to open up a gap and then just sort of maintain it. And once he's maintaining it, I think he's just conserving those tires. We ride with Cheddar. Shane just weaving behind him. He's gonna get DRS down one of what used to be considered one of the longest straights in F1, but since some of the calendar editions, that is no longer the case. Cheddar up into P3. Number 59 just stuck in P5. P5 keeps on attracting him back. He may get into P4, P3, but next time I look, he's back in P5, where he spent majority of the race. Grimjaw trying to take the P5 away from him. He is the last man in that DRS queue of 4 cars. And if we look further down the field, we were talking about the DRS train of 4 cars. Well, further down the field, we have a DRS train of 5 cars. Natsumi 9th, Django P10. Guys at the front fighting for a podium. The guys further down the field having a battle of their own. Obviously, points are according to official F1 points. Top 10 score points, 25 for a victory, 1 for a P10. Obviously, you can get the additional point if you set the fastest lap. But that will only count if you're able to firstly finish the race, and secondly finish the race within the top 10. And Natsumi lost the position briefly there. But Brands ran wide and Natsumi was able to retake the position on some superior traction. Top 3, Mango, Logic, Cheddar. Grimjaw has made up positions. He was in P6 just behind Shane. Shane is now in P6. Simps down to P5. And Grimjaw, he's made up some serious positions in the latter stages of the race. He's up into P4 looking for a podium. Simps now picking up a 3-second penalty that could come back to bite him, since he is in a very close battle. That 3-second penalty could come back to bite him if he doesn't clear this car in front of him and then build up a considerable gap. He knows he needs to get by, and he needs to get by now, and he does so. Grimjaw up into 3rd place. And what a run he's having in the second stint of the race. P3 for the Aston Martin driver. But he is very far adrift from your top 2. We have Django P1, Logic P2, separated by 2 seconds. And then Grimjaw in P3, he's a further 8.5 seconds back, and that position is not secure. Still has Cheddar, Simps and Shane just behind him. P1 and P2 look pretty secure if those drivers are able to keep the car pointing in the right direction. P3 is definitely not secure. Shakes now. Becomes the latest to be added to the penalties column. Remember, we said there was a DRS train here, and then a little further back there was another one. Well, here is that second DRS train. As you can see, it's opened up a little bit since the last time we checked on it. It's Midas is leading those cars. He's in 7th place. Some action over here. Simps getting past Shane. I think Shane must have got past him briefly because he was in P6. Went up into P5 for the shortest amount of time, and Simps retook the position. Trying to go up and down the list and give everybody a little bit of footage, but so much action happening out on track, it's really difficult. We'll ride now with Django as he's looking to get himself into the points paying positions, looking to get himself into P10 for that solitary point. As soon as he can get DRS, he's going to jump on DRS. Oh, and we have a bit of a mistake. And was that Brands? Not really sure what happened there. He went sideways, lost it. Django went past him, and then down the straight, Django just getting off the throttle and letting him go by again. So I wonder if that was a slight game issue. In the penalties column, with 3 seconds apiece, Simps, Shakes, Natsumi and Brands. Really good quality of driving here. Very few drivers with penalties. Very few drivers DNFing. And very few incidents on track. Guys respecting each other out there. And good racing. We've seen a lot of position changes. And there's another. Cheddar back into P3. Wonder if Grimjaw maybe just took a little bit of life out of those tyres on that epic resurgence he had through the field. And now just struggling a little bit. But seems like he's holding on to Cheddar, not letting that go anytime soon. He's going to come under pressure from Simps and Shane. Remember, those two still very much in the race. Mango, the gap just over the DRS required. 1.2 seconds the gap. We'll see what he can do in the final few laps of the race. Will that gap suddenly extend? Then we know he's been messing around. If it stays like this, we could still have a close finish, but it's all got to do if that's true pace or not. For the time being, first and second seems secure on lap 21 of 29, but Cheddar still leads a field of angry cars. Can be really frustrating to be in a position like this. If you're in the middle of one of these trains, so frustrating. You need to do two things at once. Actually, three. Make sure you don't run into the car in front of you. Make sure you're close enough to take advantage of any mistake. And number three, make sure you're not the one making the mistake. Thanks for the vote of approval there in the comment section. It is appreciated. If anyone's watching and has not subscribed to the SAFRL channel, please do, and give the video a like. Top three, same order: Mango, Logic, Cheddar. Wonder if these cars in the DRS train are just conserving a bit of tires, waiting for those final laps. Remember, we just had the one safety car, so if guys took under fueling to an extreme level, we may see some guys have to lift in the closing stages of the race. Stream just having a slight jump there. Hopefully everything's still appearing well on your screens. There we go, it's come right on my side. We are riding with Grimjaw. And let's go into TV pod mode so we can have a look at this battle. He's doing everything he can to get past Cheddar, but every time he opens up his DRS, he's got to look in his mirrors because he's got another two cars behind him that are trying to do exactly the same thing. Logic doing everything he can, just trying to break that DRS. Once you're in DRS, it obviously makes things a heck of a lot easier, gives you that opportunity, but you have to be able to get there, and he's getting oh so close, but not quite. Every time he gets close, Mango seems to find a tenth or two. During all of that, Grimjaw has regained third place. He's in just ahead of Cheddar. Let's see what is happening further back. We said there was two DRS trains. Seems like the second of the DRS trains has completely broken up. There we go. Where is the second DRS train? It's gone. It's completely gone. So the race towards the midfield and towards the back has definitely settled. Here at the front for P3 anyway, we are far from settled. P1, look at that, for the first time in quite a while. Logic into the required DRS time. It's all about where is that DRS activation line. Does he get DRS? Just outside of DRS. Almost seems like Mango's playing with it slightly. P6, and now at the back of that DRS train is Shane. Must come a time in the race when you say, what do I want to do here? Ooh! Do I just want to go for the points? And there is a bit of action there on track. There was contact. There was contact. And Cheddar is the man who came off worst. Just seemed like someone outbraked. And then we had a train of cars inevitably running into each other. That's how close they are next, behind each other. It had to happen at some stage. Cheddar down to P6. Shane had to do some maneuvering, so he has lost a bit of time. Cheddar actually already all over the gearbox of that Alfa Romeo. It has released these two. Battle for P3 now, mostly between Simps and Grimjaw. That was a nasty incident, and the stewards will definitely be having an interesting time. There's a reason I don't volunteer to be a steward. Grimjaw has that DRS. He's going to try and retake third place, and he does retake third place before we even get into turn one. Now he's going to have to defend, make sure he gets on the brakes, doesn't let Sims come back at him immediately. He will have in the back of his mind that Sims does have that 3-second penalty, as does Cheddar. So the two cars behind him both have 3-second penalties. So if he's able to stay out of that penalties column himself, I think he has secured third place. Some stewards already trying to run away from the office. We have missed out on the incident that happened with Shane. Shane is at the back of the field. He's in P15. He's out of the points. Not sure what happened there, but he finds himself on the opposite side of the timing sheets that he'd like to be on. So difficult to just keep an eye on all of the action. Wish we had multiple monitors, multiple views. Well, I do have multiple monitors, but they're pretty useless unless you want to have 3 monitors with the same image on them. Great to have multiple views so we could catch all the action. Unfortunately, we missed out on what happened to Shane. Spent majority of the race in between P5 and P6. Now finds himself in P15. At the front, Simps not letting this go, neither is Cheddar. They both obviously did not pick up damage, and they've come right back into podium contention. Grimjaw well off P2, 16 seconds. P1 and 2 still floating around that 1.1 second gap, not able to get into DRS. Then Grimjaw's got 2 cars within his DRS. Simpson Cheddar still looking for that final podium position. Further down the field we have Django P8, Willis P9, then Wizards P10. Just outside of the points, Bifflesfontein, he's 1.7 seconds adrift from Wizards. He'll be doing everything he can in the final stages. Maybe wishing for a little misfortune up the field, just so he can get into the points. When you're able to complete a race, it feels good. When you're able to get in the points, it feels better. But when you finish in P11, it's just annoying. Up at the front with your leader. P1 still defending from P2. Logic just 1.2 seconds down the road. Seems like everything is under control. .2 seconds. Viewers asking to see the ERS data here of your leader, so I'm showing it on screen, but I'm not going to mention it. Reason being, sometimes the drivers listen to the stream and I give too much away. I have had complaints in the past, so I'll put up any information you want on the screen. I'm just not going to talk about it. Logic still P2. Grimjaw still P3, following Simps very closely. Who is going to get this final podium positions? Grimjaw goes to the inside yet again, decides no, dips behind the McLaren. Two Mercedes powered cars battling for position. Cheddar just dropping off ever so slightly from these two. But as soon as they enter into a battle, he's right back in it. Quite surprising here in this little DRS train. Everybody's still got a pretty healthy ERS level. So easy to get in a battle like this and panic, spend too much time on that energy and then find yourself with no energy. Track like Bahrain, where you spend so much time at full throttle, it becomes very difficult to actually recharge that battery to any decent level. Sim's doing enough for P3. We enter the final lap, lap 29 of 29. It's been a clean race, just the one safety car. But this man here, he has led from start, not going to say to finish, but we'll say from start to final lap for now. He has managed that gap. He's almost played with that gap. Played with it like a yo-yo. Gap is 1.6 seconds. So while he's been in control, he's never really extended that gap to an insane number. He's going through Sector 3 now. So is second place. He's given everything. He is out of ERS. Just a few corners to go, so he's given everything. There's nothing left in the battery. There's almost nothing left in the tank. But this man here, he can be happy. He has won the opening round of Season 5. Logic goes over the line in second. We go a little further back now. In Sector 3, we have Grimjaw. He's still defending from Simps. We're going to go into the final corner. Will we see anything crazy? No, we don't. And surely they're going to finish in that order. Grimjaw goes over the line. P3. Simps deciding not to do anything crazy. He had the penalty anyway. He finishes P4. Cheddar over the line in P5. Now we still have Django in a little bit of a battle, but the cars behind him have penalties. So Django over the line for P6. Shakes 7th. Shumi 8th. Make it Shumi 9th. Penalties now coming into play. Let's try that again. Shakes P8, not Shumi 9th. Biffelsfontein 10th. Then we have Welsh in P11. It's Midas 12th. Brands 13. Bosveld 14. Windsor's 15. And Tiago makes up your field. Definitely fantastic drive from everyone in the field, namely those top two. Really just the one seemed to be managing the gap, but the man in second, he was there, he was holding on, putting on the consistent lap times. I was looking at my laptop, but putting in the consistent lap times throughout, and obviously not letting himself get distracted by that safety car. They were able to pit on the first lap of safety car and immediately come through the field. So just to go through your standings one more time: Mango P1, Logic P2, Grimjaw P3, that is your podium. Then we have Simps, Cheddar, Django, Shane, Shakes, Notsumi, Biffelsfontein, Welsh, It's Midas, Brands, Bosveld. And scrolling down, making up your field, Windsor's in P15 and Tiago P6. I want to thank you all. Thank everybody who watched. It was a fantastic start to Season 5. It was a fantastic introduction for me to SAFRL. And I look forward to being with you for the rest of Season 5. See you next Monday, and enjoy.